Keep doubting Kick, it's already taken over. Fire emoji. Respectfully, people that say stuff like this, well, right now they're just sitting back like, thanks, I guess.
Twitch is probably not sitting back saying thanks, I guess. Twitch is probably pretty nervous because Amazon could theoretically cut that business off completely and just license out IVS to people. There is no shot that's true. I'm not trying to call it Pokimane, I don't care, but like she didn't slightly misword it.
Can I ask you something and you can totally not answer, but I'm so curious. Yeah. Did they give you any equity?
Is Poki as snaky as other streamers say? Linus Tech Tips stole your take. Uh-oh.
Yeah. From your perspective that you brought up earlier, it might be better for Amazon, Big Daddy Amazon, to look at this situation and see Twitch as a technology company. Because
I mean, I don't think that take, first of all, I stole this from Cake. Honestly, I don't think that this take is going to be that unique, right?
Twitch made the thing that AWS sells as the streaming service.
Yeah, and that was ultimately what they wanted. They wanted to own video online. I don't think they ever gave any hoots whatsoever if people are watching Amazon Prime Video,
so maybe the
Twitch.tv.
The top level domain shouldn't matter, and if you own it shouldn't matter, and you should just care that you're the one that serves the video. And if they look at that, maybe they just kind of shrug it off and don't really care.
By the way, Kick is down right now. So I guess they didn't pay their bill? So much for that theory.
Again, the stream service thing is like actually completely unrelated. So if it was, well, they're probably hosted on AWS.
Look at what Pokimane said on her alt Twitter. Why am I reading about what Pokimane said? I don't reiterate my point in replies. A bunch of people agreeing with him and disagreeing with me, even though we're saying the same thing. I mean, what is she? I mean, guys, come on. I mean, bro, this is so... Bro, if I do this, oh my god. Yo, imagine if I do this. Should I?
Kick, it's already taken over. Fire.
I guess the issue is...
Keep doubting Kick, it's already taken over. Fire emoji. Respectfully, people that say stuff like this, you don't understand that Kick makes Twitch money. Like, Kick is using Twitch's services. And if Twitch really wanted, they could just stop giving these services to Kick.
Okay, the issue is that Kick does not make Twitch money. Kick makes Amazon money. Twitch could not take away its video platform from Kick. Amazon would have to do so, right? That's the issue.
Well, right now they're just sitting back like, thanks, I guess.
Twitch is probably not sitting back saying thanks, I guess. Twitch is probably pretty nervous because Amazon could theoretically cut that business off completely and just license out IVS to people. She knows this, she just misspoke? No, she didn't misspeak, and she didn't know this. You can tell because of the way she's talking. She thinks that Twitch is in a perfectly fine position because Twitch is making money off of Kick. But that's not true. If anything, Twitch is threatened by Kick, even though the parent company owns Twitch, because the parent company also owns the underlying technology that runs Twitch. Amazon does not need Twitch for IVS. Unless there's some really weird contract thing that I don't know about as part of the negotiation or
but
something.
Also, honestly, I don't really care that much. Yeah. Well, AWS is Amazon and Twitch is Amazon, so in a way it is.
Parent companies are not their acquired companies. They're not the same thing. That is absolutely not true.
No way it is. But also, I'm just a random streamer. I'm just saying what I've gathered.
I'm not arguing whether this hurts Twitch or not. I'm saying it's still under Amazon's control ultimately, and they will obviously choose a company they own versus one they don't if it ever came to that. This assumes that the Twitch branch of Amazon is profitable, which it might not be. It's not obvious that they would choose Twitch over just licensing out their video platform. That's not obvious, right? That's the issue.
The biggest deal in entertainment history has just been signed by a Twitch streamer. Felix Lengyel, also known as XQC, is moving off of popular live streaming platform Twitch and onto rival platform Kick.
Wow.
Now, this is a estimated $100 million deal, representing the largest deal ever signed in live streaming history. This is the only video where you will get the actual details of this deal and how this changes the live streaming space and the entertainment world. The
only video!
You do not want to miss a second.
Except for mine now.
From this, people will miss a lot of details in their coverage of this event that would only be caught by an insider. So we are going to break everything down on the outside. It looks like a streaming deal. that just pays XQC to go to another platform. But that's not what it actually is. What this actually is the most interesting and the biggest influencer marketing play of all time. So Kick, as a platform, has put themselves on the map. Look at this, okay?
Looking.
New York Times, Forbes, Deserto, and this is just PC Gamer. This is just the first couple of hours of this as of the time of this recording. This is going to be everywhere. This is Kick's Hail Mary to get on the map and be a legitimate competitor to Twitch. Now, the New York Times is reporting that this deal is an estimated $70 million. And if you look at the article, they say signing a 2-year contract, roughly $70 million contract with incentives that could push it to the total to about $100 million, said his agent Ryan Morrison from Evolved Talent. Now, the big thing to understand about this deal is that this deal is most likely an hourly deal.
Okay.
That is to say that there is probably not what we would call an MG,
Minimum guarantee.
or minimum guarantee associated with the deal. There is probably a signing bonus, and I would put that at like 10 million, maybe 15 at most. So like, here's a check, and then we're gonna pay you hourly to be here. Okay, so there's an upfront, but probably not a minimum guarantee. It's probably gonna be hourly. We know that because there's been a ton, basically every deal that Kick has signed so far has been an hourly deal. We've seen dozens and dozens of these deals show up on Twitter, and indeed they're offering a flat hourly rate to almost anybody that verifies for their partner program that's above like 30 to 50 concurrent viewers. So if this is an hourly deal, and I can almost guarantee it is, we can basically just figure out exactly how this deal got structured. So I'm gonna put the rate per hour at $10,000. You're going to see why in a minute. Felix streamed 3,029 hours last year on Twitch. Okay? So then you just take the hourly rate, 10,000 times 3,029, 30,290,000. You times that by 2, right? Well, actually, we're not done yet because but it's going to be, this is 1 year, okay? And it's a 2-year deal. We know that. So then you look at the subs that he gets, okay, and we're going to assume that he's making 100% of his sub revenue in the Kick contract. That's fairly common for these larger creators, and it's already 95.5 anyway, so it's like not too much sweat for Kick just to say, here, you get 100% of your sub revenue. With XQC's current numbers on Twitch,
Do you think that
puts
Kick's
him
saying they're going to pay hourly
monthly
to everyone is just a ploy just to get people to leave Twitch for an actual financial capability?
Who knows? We'll see.
at 327,044 or 3,929,805 per year. Okay, so then you just add up the which basically puts you to 34,219,805. And so if you just add that times 2, right, and you figure, okay, it's going to be about 34,219,000 per year. Multiply that by 2, you get 68,439,610. Boom, that's the deal. That's how they got to 70 million. So 70 million, and then the 30 million in incentives is the part we don't really know.
Wait, I'm so confused why they think... Does he think they're calculating this potential contract that on all the past hours streamed for XQC? There's no way they're going to expect him to stream that many hours.
No, and that is, I would just be guessing. I think that some of that is going to be just kind of like events, like XQC mentioned he wants to do like viewer Shark Tank stuff, or like he can pitch that kind of stuff, so there's some payment there. But if I were to guess, I would say that some of those incentives are going to kind of like be attached to like gambling goals or things like that. That, again, we'll see like what happens there. XQC might just like gamble on his own. It's really a question of where that 30 mil actually sits that we just aren't going to know and anybody can speculate on. But what this means is that this is, I just want you to understand what a brilliant marketing play this is from Kick. Because Kick is getting all of this earned media. So what is earned media? In the marketing world, earned media means impressions you don't necessarily pay for. So people like me that are making videos about this, undoubtedly there's going to be videos from every content creator about this. It's going to be talked about across Twitch. It's going to be talked about across every platform. It's going to be, I mean, people like LeBron, right, are going to talk about this. Like, how is this kid getting more than my signing was for for an NBA team. Like, that's going to be the kind of news, and we're going to get into in a second into how that might be a real problem for Kick. But that's going to be the discussion, right? So the earned media from this is massive. It's second to none. There's no deal in history digitally that comes even close to how much this deal is going to be talked about. We're going to see this on every business podcast. We're going to see this on every publication that's possible. There's going to be talk about this ongoing for a very long time. And so what Kick has done by setting up an hourly deal is they're basically saying, yeah, sure, we'll pay you the rate of like $10,000 per hour. And I'm pretty confident that's the number. It's really close to it because the math just works out almost exactly. And that's basically been confirmed by their agency. So if you look at that number, XQC might honor that, and he might actually stream 3,000 hours. Kick is probably not going to end up paying out this like entire $70 million. And that 30 million in incentives, that could sit anywhere. It could be very difficult to get, but that 70 million is unlikely to actually equate out to the actual 70. And now let's say that it does. Kick probably still earns $70 million just in earned media impressions. It's not even about, like, you have to ask yourself, okay, if they're giving 100% of the revenue back,
70 million in earned media. 70 million is a lot of money. I don't know if earned media is that valuable for Kick. Are you converting that earned media to customers? Are there going to be people that read this, that have heard about this, that are all of a sudden going to become frequent visitors to the Kick website?
Swan and Train were talking and basically said that $100 million was a bullshit number.
Okay.
And they're paying him this much. How the heck does this make sense for Kick? Well, it's because Kick just overnight became a competitor to Twitch. Like, legit. There will be a bunch of stuff happening at Kick, and the first thing that's going to happen is heat. Heat. And I mean, it's going to turn up the fire. Everybody is going to go after Kick. Every federal agency, every single group, everybody. So Twitch, in its infancy, survived by watching movies, doing whatever you want, because no one really knew about it. And so for a long time on Twitch, you could stream Lord of the Rings, you could stream whatever the hell you wanted. I mean, I remember a director at Twitch at the time lit a chair on fire and peed it out on live stream. Like, you could get away with some crazy stuff back when I started streaming in like 2011, just on Justin TV. You could do basically anything. And what happened over time was more attention got on Twitch. Articles got covered, like in the New York Times, about Twitch. There was a couple of scares. The music industry turned their heads. People in the entertainment industry turned their heads. And they were like, hey, like, we got to start regulating this platform. Guess what's about to happen to Kick? And you have to understand that Twitch has a lot of rules in place to keep them in something called safe harbor with most DMCA. That means that Twitch is regularly banning content that goes on there and basically making a best effort to ban movies, to ban things that are going on that might be illegal. But Kick is not doing any of that. In fact, Kick is basically encouraging people.
There is no shot that's true. Kick must have some process. In fact, you guys can go search the website right now. I'm sure that if you Google, like, Kick, we can just check, actually. Kick DMCA. Yes, Kick absolutely has a process by which you can email them to remove copyright infringing content. I don't know why he would say this, but
people to do that. And I don't mean that like officially. I mean, like, there hasn't been an official statement, but they are not policing it, right? Like, the worst you might get for doing something crazy is like maybe like a 24-hour ban. But literally the largest broadcasters on the platform with over 30,000 viewers were streaming the Super Bowl and nobody stopped them. There wasn't even a single warning. This is the kind of stuff that Kick has got two choices. They are either going to button up or, oh man, are the police, the 5-0 is coming. And it is not going to be pretty, because
the point is they're super lenient. Everybody's super lenient. You guys literally watch shows and shit on Twitch all the time. Didn't you guys watch The Whole Good Doctor? Wasn't that on Twitch? Am I making that up? Why are you guys saying no? Did you not do that? Yeah, shut the f up. You guys literally did that.
They basically, you say, well, look, Kick is an Australian-based company backed by Saudi Arabian oil lords. So, like, what's the danger? The danger isn't necessarily to Kick, although I would argue that these agencies could go after U.S. properties. So, notably, the Kick is hosted by AWS, which is an Amazon product. They would very easily go to AWS and say, hey, this platform is streaming movies. stop it. And then AWS goes, well, okay, like nobody opposes the feds. Okay, nobody. That well, you know, when we were talking about they say, you always talk about they, like, okay, they might come for you. They're they. That's the they, and they are going to say, AWS, don't protect Kick. Knock it down. Sure, boss. No problem. And then Kick goes, oh, we'll just go to Cloudflare. Guess what? That's a U.S. company, too. We'll come after you. Until you host your servers in Zimbabwe, they're going to...
Does Cloudflare do hosting? Do people normally host on Cloudflare? Okay, I'm not actually sure what he's talking about here, but okay.
Going to be coming after you, but it doesn't end there. What happens if they host their servers in Zimbabwe and they can still keep going? Totally fine. Then the agencies go after the individual streamers, and because they don't have the safe harbor in route, what happens is these agencies start going after XQC for doing.
Agencies can always go after individual streamers. I don't. Okay, I'm trying to be careful here. His take on copyright law is not correct. Let me be very, 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 very clear. The safe harbor of a website does not protect the user. That safe harbor, they're the ones. The website is the one that's in the safe harbor, not you. You getting DMCA'd is just something to protect the website. You can break copyright one time on a site and somebody can go after you if they want to. You're not protected by Twitch. If you go on Twitch and you stream copyright infringing material, they might DMC you off Twitch. They could sue you individually if they wanted to. Nothing is preventing anybody from doing that right now, to be clear. He's saying if Kick does nothing about companies going after it, but Kick probably does. Kick probably will do the same thing Twitch does. They're just maybe not as proactive about it. Although even Twitch, I don't even think even Twitch is proactive, to be fair though. But I think what Kick will probably do is if they receive a takedown request, then they take down the copyright infringing content.
Illegal. I mean, he literally just said, like, we can watch more movies over there, right? And that's the great XQC. If you were watching this video, man, if you listen to anything I've ever said, okay, do not go over to Kick and watch movies and full-blown stuff like just months into your new deal. Dude, every single eye is going to be upon you. You are a crazy person if you don't think that the feds can touch you. I know you're Canadian, okay, but you're between the United States and Canada, which share many different agreements and many different laws. You are doomed if you do that. As is a message out, I am sending a message out to every large Kick broadcaster. The smaller ones usually get away with it, but I can't recommend that. I don't recommend that, especially as an agency professional. The larger ones, you are doomed if you start doing this stuff in the next 6 months. I guarantee you they are going to, don't think just because Twitch got away with it. There was so much that happened behind the scenes to protect broadcasters. So that is number one. I
don't know what he means when he says that. There was so much behind the scenes to protect broadcasters. I don't think Twitch can protect a broadcaster unless he's making it sound like they can protect you from the law. They can protect you from getting banned, but that's because it's Twitch's platform. But if somebody decides that they wanted to sue you, I don't think Twitch can do anything to protect you there. Like, you'll just get sued.
Kick is going to have to change substantially if they plan to survive the amount of attention that's going to be on them, which is not going to be good. But they're also going to have to clean up clear brand risks. So there are streamers, notable streamers, in the 30,000 to 40,000 viewer range that are platforming absolutely crazy stuff on Kick that, again, I can't even talk to you about, because if I told you about it, I wouldn't even be able to have a career on YouTube. It's that bad. And there's no advertiser, there is no brand that is going to touch Kick with a 10-foot pole until those people are cleared up. And the problem is that a lot of the executive management at Kick thinks that they can just sort of coach these people into being better. But the problem with that is what I call the Arkham Asylum problem, okay? So like in DC Comics, this is one of my favorite things in the universe. I'm gonna get a couple of nerds here talking about this. You've got Batman, and Batman captures villains, puts them in jail, and then wouldn't you know it, they break right out and they start causing havoc again, and this happens again and again and again. And there's been many storylines that kind of explore, man, maybe we should just like stop these people entirely. Like maybe we should just end them, right? And I think that there is a solid case for deplatforming some of the people on Kick when they have just repeatedly done this, because they're just going to break out of Arkham and cause these problems again and again and again. But Kick's management doesn't believe that. They believe that they can kind of coach these people and they can get through it. And the problem is, like, that works until it doesn't, and you have a truly bad actor that brings down your entire plot. The next thing I want to talk about is what is going to happen to Twitch. There's a lot of questions about this and how this affects Twitch, and I'm going to break that down for you right after this call to action, which is, hi, I'm Devin Nash. Like I said, I run Novo. That's a brand agency that does influencer marketing across many different platforms. So if you are a brand and you want to reach out to us and you want to do some work with us, we spend advertising dollars in efficient ways with influencers. But I go further than that. I also create YouTube videos about stuff like this. And I use my agency insider kind of information to kind of like inform these videos, or at least I do a lot of these similar deals. So if you like that kind of thing, go to patreon.com/Devin Nash and support me. For $5, I've made over 90 unique videos teaching about business and marketing and everything I know. $5, patreon.com/Devin Nash. That is not a meme. You can also support me by joining discord.gg/Devin. We're going to move right into the Twitch section of how this will change Twitch and what will happen to Twitch. Well, the first thing this is going to do is it will force action from Twitch. One of my friends and people that is pretty intimately involved in Kick, named Trainwrecks, correctly identified this and said that this is going to be a big deal because it is going to make Kick a legitimate competitor and a legitimate worry for Twitch. Why? Well, because Felix himself represents about 2 to 3% of the total viewership on Twitch at any given day. Pretty crazy. Like, that's a lot of people. So Twitch is going to take a look at this, and this is not the first deal or the last deal that Kick has signed. And they're going to say, man, we are losing a lot of people. And plus, we've banned some other people, like notable people like Destiny, who are now doing very well on Kick by streaming there, as well as having a non-exclusive deal on YouTube. Twitch has really backed themselves into the corner with this simulcasting thing. Now, Twitch will tell you that they have removed contractual exclusivity, but that is not true. They have simulcasting. So, yes, you can, in theory, in your contract, stream on Twitch, end your stream, and then go over to YouTube and stream, but you cannot do those two things at the same time. Because of that, some people have just decided to drop Twitch entirely and said, you know what, I'll go make more money over on Kick, or I'll go make more money multi-broadcasting, especially for smaller streamers. Some of you who watch my videos, you know that your discovery is going to be better, your monetization efforts are going to be better, a lot better on those platforms where you multi-stream instead of just putting all of the eggs in one basket on Twitch. Likewise, people like Destiny, who are a controversial broadcaster who was banned permanently on Twitch, is now doing better on these multiple platforms, both accepting non-exclusive deals from people like Kick and Rumble, as well as broadcasting there. So now this sort of Avengers group of people is all kind of forming on Kick, and that means it has a network effect. A network effect is a marketing concept where multiple popular people or things get together and cause more media and attention. It basically saturates out. So you have XQC, Destiny, Trainwrecks, Aiden Ross, all these people of this kind of certain same demographic in the live streaming world. That network effect means that
this type of effect is really, really, really important. I would say it's arguably the most important part about doing a successful like brand deal, talent signing, and I think it's one of the most overlooked things that people do, or that people don't do. This is part of the reason why I was like on Kick, why I'm trying to say that like, oh, we should do like Keep or Kick to get like a bunch of like Kick talent working together, or like on Rumble, I want to do like a Rumble show, because just buying a bunch of like discrete talent that never engages with other talent is like, I don't think it's a good, I mean, it's good for me, I guess. It's good when people spend money on talent, but like, I don't think that you want to have your talent on your platforms collaborating with each other. I think that's really important. I think they did.
Collaborations are going to happen on Kick. More stories are going to happen on Kick.
Oh no, they didn't.
More news is going to happen on Kick. That means more videos are going to be made about stuff that happened on Kick, where maybe Deserto makes an article about XQC and something he did on Kick. Maybe on Reddit, there's a linked clip that is from kick.com instead of every clip right now, which is linked from twitch.tv. So that's a big difference. That network effect is really coming into play here with this $70 million deal. They get all this earned media. If the people stream on Kick, great. They get all the viewers, they get all that attention. If they don't, still great. All these announcements go through, all these earned media go through. So now I'm delivering on the promise of what you saw in this video, right? You now know what the real motivation here is. So Kick, you're gonna be like, well, at what point are they gonna make money? And I don't know that they never need to make money, okay? They're backed by Saudi Arabia, and so they don't really care. Kick also is backed by Stake.com, which is a massive gambling platform. And you have to understand, there's a concept of marketing called LTV, which is the lifetime value of a customer, okay, or LTC, or LTVC, however you want to kind of pronounce it. We just sort of make up acronyms as we go along in the agency world. And the lifetime value of a customer means how much money they're going to spend over the lifetime interacting with your product or service. Well, gambling lifetime value of customer is extremely high, which is why if you can use Kick as a...
Oh, I've heard this in marketing called, I think it's like ARPU, average revenue per user. I've heard this in mobile game marketing conversations.
Sort of front website to just pull people into gambling, knowing that XQC gambles, knowing that basically all of the prominent people that they've kind of signed over to Kick at these big landmark deals have been prominent gamblers. They know that some percentage of those people, and they've got the math on the back end, are going to move over to Stake, and they're going to gamble with these people, and their lifetime value of the customer is going to be within the thousands of dollars.
ARPU is different?
So that's why
okay.
a lot of people are going to say here that, well, why doesn't Twitch, because remember we're in the Twitch section here, do 70-30 subscriber splits across the board? You might say, you know, we're kind of expecting, well, surely Twitch is now going to announce 70-30 subscriber splits across the board in response to this, because Kick is currently offering 95-5, and YouTube already offers the 70-30 split. But if you actually listen to a lot of the people that are kind of the insiders within Twitch, notably you can look at the former head of partnerships, who's also a friend of mine named John Howell. I deeply respect this person. Writes on Twitter, I don't think people understand that 70-30 across the board is literally not sustainable. Streamers are anti-ads and refuse to run them at a volume that would allow Twitch to be fair, with the revenue-paying viewers directly spending to watch you. Probably have to be close to 5 to 6 ads per hour to make sense. The CPMs, which are the cost that they pay for ads, vary so dramatically by season and geo that prime ad regions like the US would need to make the difference up at other places. Unfortunately, the markets with lowest CPMs also are most expensive to serve videos to. So you've got the former head of partnerships saying outright, we can't sustain 70-30 as a platform. But Kick can certainly sustain 95-5 because the lifetime value of the customer moving over to Stake is so high. And that now you sort of see how powerful the offering of Kick and Stake are going to become in this battle. So Twitch is going to have to be really creative on how they do this. And while I do think they're moving forward, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough.
You know what I really like about Kick? They don't give a fuck. When I say, oh, the chat sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, like, yeah, you're right. Fortunately, when you work with people that are growing and they're sort of small, right? There's not a lot of overhead costs. Not a lot of employees, not a lot of buildings, not a lot of shit to keep on. And basically you're kind of starting from the bottom.
Reminder, this is the same streamer who didn't understand how data is deleted from vectors in HDD and SSD open up, but also stopped getting one guy fucking known.
Amazon, like when buying Twitch, the problem that they're struggling right now is that overhead costs are fucking insane. So what's the money sink? Is on paper, the servers are about the same. I get it, they probably have like discounts, whatever, for Twitch, right? Because it's their own company, right? They own it. So of course, the price that they're putting on the server is probably less. Correct, chat? It's kind of how business works compared to the one that they deliver to Kick. They probably have to add a premium for themselves. But the problem is that it's a money sink. Yeah. Buy our servers, rent our servers, and
that too.
We're not gonna do shit in it.
People, yeah, I agree with that take as well. That they might instead, I mean, I don't really know if there's they might just sell Twitch and be like, we'll just sell you guys the service to Kick and Twitch, and instead just profit that way without having to worry about the overall.
Yeah, now that's fine in Pokimane that now, but that is totally opposite from what she said earlier, right?
And Twitch would go bankrupt in 24 hours.
I don't know. I'm happy to see like individuals get that bag. Yeah, that's really it.
All right. So what?
Oh, but also Dexter replies are still fucking ass.
Yeah,
like, slightly misword something. Any title, any clip.
I'm not trying to call it Pokimane. I don't care, but like she didn't slightly misword it. She had a total misunderstanding of it. Like it was very obvious initially that she thought that Twitch was under no threat whatsoever. That's why she gave her explanation. Twitch is under threat though.
Can I ask you something? And you can totally not answer, but I'm so curious.
Yeah.
Did they give you any equity?
Can I talk about that? Can I talk about that?
That's a yes if he said, can I talk about that?
Basically,
Well, you don't have to.
I got to, like, as in,
you were talking about, I was looking at
I got to choose.
I was looking at this, that, and that.
No, I got to choose whether I wanted some or not.
Have you talked to Eddie before?
Oh,
He's the guy that I negotiate my contract with. That's what we talked to tonight.
But
uh-oh.
Which is whatever.
Cash.
But the
Or gamble money.
the reality is is that I actually believe in the product. Like, I generally do. So
Yeah, I also think you really believe in the idea of non-exclusive streaming.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so what I thought...
Yeah, I'm asking for 200 million, true.
Equity, right, means that if I go super hard, right, I get a part of what I do. And I really believe that I've been criticizing YouTube, Twitch, Rumble. I've been criticizing everybody in the past, like 5 years. I've been shitting on everybody for what they do with their signings and their contracts. And the only proof that I have that I was right is that it actually succeeds and it does better than people expect it to be to do, right? And if I don't get there, well, I'm a loser idiot. But if I do get there, right, and I have equity, I mean, shit. I mean, that's I think that's very telling. And on top of that, I get a reward for knowing, right? I get an incentive for being right with what I know. And I think that's massive. And that's very interesting. And I thought, at the same time, yeah, I love streaming, but I like the idea of like doing other things that are fun and whatnot. And I kind of saw this as like a business or whatever, like doing like chess moves or whatever. And that's interesting on its own, right? I thought it would be really cool to all these strategies on what we could do to make it better. And holy shit, it's fun. I think it's fun.
I just think it'll make all large streamers think differently about their future signings, which is really good. Thoughts on OTK Miskiff going to right-wing Rumble site? I think Rumble is like Kick, but for conservatives mostly. Huh?
Wanted to thank you for your content.
Rumble is a
Listening to you has
right-wing
helped me
free
challenge the way I think and help me save some friends from falling down the MAGA and red pill hole.
Well, thanks, buddy.
Each YouTube? Huh? Rumble is a right-wing free speech YouTube clone? What in the world? I mean, obviously he probably did it for money, which is unfortunate because I don't think he needs the money. Honestly, I should talk to him about this on stream. That's probably the fairest way to do this.
Okay. Is Poki as snaky as other streamers say? I've never heard of Poki ever being snaky. I mean, she can like drama from a little bit on Twitter, but I've never heard stories of her being snaky or anything.
Something that Twitch has in comparison is a bit more of an ecosystem. And I think it's good that in a way, Kick via like its socials and honestly, like trying to make good decisions when Twitch makes bad ones is starting to create a community. But I feel like that's how you blow up small streamers into larger ones.
Yeah.
Like the way that LSF is tied in with the Twitch community, the way that people gain traction, the way that there are
Does LSF help small streamers
on Twitch more or less?
I feel like LSF is exclusively for big streamers to farm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you brought up very, very valid points. I think these are all really valid. Chat, guys, don't be rude. She's not about.
I feel like there might have been like a few small streamers that have blown up from LSF, but for the most part, LSF is exclusively for larger streamers to farm. Yeah, like people are bringing up like one or two names, like 39 Daft maybe, Chud maybe, Maya maybe. But given how huge that subreddit is and how long it's existed, I don't think you would say that's like a platform for small streamers to grow. I feel like I've launched more small streamer careers than fucking LSF. Maya was made by LSF. People are saying Maya was made by LSF. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like Maya's big boost came from Miskiff. Miskiff found her on LSF, but it wasn't LSF that made Maya. I thought it was Miskiff. The discoverability was through LSF? I guess, but like, if big streamers go farm LSF to make new content creators, does that mean LSF is making them, or? LSF made you? True.
YouTube is killing himself that way.
That's what they want.
But it doesn't make any sense. So if that's what they wanted, there's other ways to do it. They already own all the muscle for when it comes down to a video content, a video format, right? So they don't not only they don't care about their live thing, they're actively killing it. like they're quite literally killing their own streams by having the thumbnails on the side be better content. Isn't that so odd? That's just odd. So why? Because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So there's no economy, there's no ecosystem, discoverability. Discoverability is negative. You have more chances of being discovered on YouTube by making a decent 10-second clip than making 3 24-hour streams. Okay, you know it's all good content. Because discoverability is so shit. So it's why YouTube has never been a competitor and never will be in that sense. People say, but dude,
I hard disagree here. I think discoverability on YouTube, even for live streams, is actually really insane. If you have the right titles and you're like have a few viewers and you're popping off, I feel like, but
when they go live, and that gives them a certain portion of the market. That is not. These aren't live streams. That doesn't compete with anybody.
Not for live streaming. Yes, for live streaming.
That's a non-factor. That's why that's
yes,
what I thought about
even
it.
for live streaming. I think it's pretty insane.
Thoughts?
You know, when you're a Twitch streamer, one of the best ways to grow is by putting out YouTube videos. Like if you put out TikTok videos, yeah, you can grow a little, but the #1 highest like return on your investment, from what I've seen, is making YouTube videos, because YouTube gaming is massive.
Yeah.
So if you're a large creator,
wait, is that who on Twitch has gotten big off of YouTube gaming videos? Is that true? I think if you make it big on Twitch, you can make money on YouTube, but are people getting big on YouTube to go live stream on Twitch? I feel like the audience doesn't carry over like at all. People are saying Asmongold? Asmongold was a huge streamer and then went and got big on YouTube. I don't think Asmongold got his live stream audience from YouTube. People are just saying random shit in chat. Never mind. I don't know why I asked chat that.
Streaming,
Okay,
like they would really actually have something there.
No, it was YouTube first. Or wait, how long ago did Asmongold do YouTube? Okay, if this was in 2014, do you think he initially? I don't believe you. Never mind. Okay, never mind. I think you're retarded.
Exorbitant compared to any live shit.
Yeah.
Any live.
It's
the
actually fucking insane.
The amount of raw muscle they have compared to any other force, it eclipses everybody times 10 combined, right? Which is incredible, right? And it's honestly, I'm gonna say how it is. This will sound out of touch. 200K viewers would actually be pretty disappointing to have if you compare the amount of people that they have and then the stream. Because these numbers could be crazy. If they had the ecosystem that was built to sustain an environment for live streams, 200K would be nothing for them. It would be like, oh, you would get people that have 200K on the daily. But just because they don't retain any live viewer economy.
Some of the WL guys might be a good example.
Are like
That's
events.
true.
All of them are like events. You don't want your streams to be an event. You want it to be a daily commute thing, right? And now they have no infrastructure to support that type of reassurance.
XQC's head grew so big in one day. I mean, he's the most popular live streamer in the world, right?
Nobody wants to go. Nobody wants to be the guy out there.
I think he can have like a pretty big head,
right?
no?
But as soon as things start flipping, everybody wants a piece and everyone wants to be part of it. That's right. That's right. That's right. And I'm here to make sure that these busters learn the lesson not to act this way, right? So that they can be a pioneer themselves.
I really like the energy. I'm
thank you.
excited to see whatever the fuck you do.
Same.
Let me know when the chat is fixed and I'll come watch a stream of yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. You got it. I take care. Have a good day today.
Alright, take care, bye.
What do you do these days? You play Valorant these days or something like that? Or what? What do you do these days?
Yeah.
Wow. Now that's what I call a cool story, bro. Amouranth joining Kick. No shot, really?
Twitch stars have $100 million deal with rival.
Oh my goodness. Twitch. Jesus, all this happening, they still didn't unban me. Really? What the f?
Says his agent Ryan lost. Hey, so the $100 million deals have started. Can I get one of those? Well, I think that's everything.
Destiny, did you realize you've been on tier 1 difficulty this entire time?
Yeah, your mom realized that too.
Hey, so saw that $100 million deal. Whose cake do I have to suck?
Jesus Christ. What? Why?